Ezra Miller. For every beloved DCU actor, there's one that fans can't stand. Starting off with Ezra Miller, aka The Flash. Back in 2016, fans were cautiously hopeful. Ezra brought a unique outsider vibe, nervous energy, and snappy dialogue to Barry Allen. It was a bold take, but some saw the vision, especially in Zack Snyder's cut, where Ezra got a deeper arc and even reversed time in one of the film's most iconic moments. But while fans debated his awkward humor, something else was brewing, and it had nothing to do with acting. In 2020, a shocking video surfaced of Ezra choking a woman outside a bar in Iceland. Though no charges were filed, the footage went viral, and fans were stunned. Then came multiple arrests in 2022 for disorderly conduct and throwing a chair that injured a woman. And that was just the start. Accusations of grooming and controlling behavior followed, plus burglary charges and restraining orders. The Flash was no longer about Barry Allen. It was about Ezra's personal issues. Warner Brothers had already invested over $200 million in the film, but test audiences were divided, and Ezra was unmarketable. They tried to push the movie out, but with zero promotion from the actor. No Comic-Con, no interviews, nothing. Despite the CGI multiverse, cameos, and Michael Keaton hype, The Flash bombed, barely making $271 million, far from the billion-dollar hopes. Fans and critics pointed to the messy script, but the internet pointed fingers at Ezra. People just couldn't support someone accused of violent behavior, no matter how flashy the movie was. While Ezra became one of the most hated actors in the DC universe, our next actor? A completely different story. Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill didn't need a dozen cameos, flashy dialogue, or multiverse hype. He simply stood there, cape billowing, eyes locked on the camera, and from that moment, everyone knew this was Superman. He looked like he stepped out of a comic, strong, intense, with a presence you couldn't ignore. He wasn't trying to be a meme or a Boy Scout. He played Clark Kent as a man torn between who he was and who the world needed him to be, and fans felt that. Even in the controversial films Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, Justice League, one thing remained constant. Henry never missed. He delivered with power, restraint, and vulnerability, whether soaring through the skies or quietly holding back tears. But the studio? They didn't get it. Henry was strung along for years, a faceless cameo in Shazam, a post-credit tease in Black Adam, and finally, the announcement, "The cape is still mine." But right after, James Gunn pulled the plug. No sequel, no closure, just silence. Instead of lashing out, he did what real heroes do. Thanked the fans, wished DC the best, and walked away with grace. Because Henry Cavill isn't just a great actor, he's a fan. He plays Warhammer, builds gaming PCs, talks comic lore like he's on Reddit. He's one of us. To this day, edits of Henry as Superman go viral. People still call him the real Superman, not for what WB gave him, but for what he gave us: heart, humanity, and hope. He may not be back, but his Superman never left us. Henry Cavill is the most loved actor in the DC universe, even when the DC universe didn't deserve him. Jared Leto. While Henry Cavill won hearts by letting his role speak for itself, Jared Leto took the opposite approach and paid the price. Cast as the Joker in Suicide Squad, Leto's Oscar win and Dallas Buyers Club fame gave fans hope. But when the promo photo dropped green slicked-back hair, chrome teeth, and a damaged tattoo, something felt off. Then came the stories. Leto reportedly sent used condoms, a dead rat, bullets, creepy notes, and weird gifts to his co-stars, even staying in character 24/7 like he was the Joker in real life. It didn't feel dedicated, it felt off. His castmates were uncomfortable, and fans weren't impressed. Warner Brothers hyped him like crazy, making him seem like the film's main villain. But when Suicide Squad hit theaters, he barely had 10 minutes of screen time. Most of his scenes were cut, and his impact? Nearly non-existent. Fans didn't talk about how intense Leto's Joker was. They laughed, cringed, and moved on. Reddit roasted him, Twitter memed him into oblivion, and even Snyder's fans had one complaint. Warner Brothers quietly moved on, never officially firing him after the disaster that was Leto's Joker. Margot Robbie? DC was desperate for a win, and luckily, they got one. Right next to Leto was Margot Robbie, stealing every scene, owning every frame, and instantly becoming a fan favorite. From the moment she stepped into Suicide Squad as Harley Quinn, colorful, chaotic, and completely unpredictable, it was clear. She was born for this role. While most actors need time to grow into a comic book character, Margot snapped into it on day one. Fans often call Harley Quinn the most authentic DC character on screen. Margot captured the psychology of love, chaos, and unforgettable humor. She's the doctor-turned-villain who refuses to be a cliché, and yes, she did her own stunts, training for 6 months to pull off Harley's demanding physicality. Not only did Suicide Squad rake in over $746 million worldwide, but critics hailed her as one of the only bright spots. She won People's Choice and Critics' Choice Awards, and carried 2 standalone films that reshaped how female heroes were seen in the genre. DC may have stumbled, but Harley Quinn soared. Despite her fame, Margot stayed grounded. She stays involved with DC's animated Harley Quinn series, supports Lady Gaga's future take, and always speaks about Harley as if protecting her own creation. She's classy, cute, and in charge. Even though the new DCU won't use her version, Robbie's Harley isn't forgotten. She created the blueprint for a chaotic female anti-hero who's as human as she is explosive. That voice, that spirit, and that Echo fans will carry it forward. Her version wasn't just loved, it was loved to death. Amber Heard. While Margot Robbie won fans over with raw talent and consistent performances, our next DC actor lost almost everything without a bad script. Let's talk about Amber Heard and how she became one of the most hated faces in the DC universe. Even before Aquaman 2 hit theaters, fans had turned on her. A petition to remove her from the role gathered millions of signatures. By the time Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom dropped, the online outrage was deafening, far bigger than any box office drama. In court, the defamation battle with Johnny Depp raged on, and Heard lost. She testified that her role had been drastically reduced after the trial, but rumors swirled, leading fans to believe she was cut because of scandal, not script. This only fueled more resentment. Director James Wan claimed her smaller role was always planned, a heroic sequel focusing on Aquaman's bromance with Orm. Producers said chemistry issues, not controversy, were the reason. But fans saw it differently. Amber Heard's image had become toxic, and no spin could fix it. Critics pointed out that many of her scenes felt like last-minute add-ins, as if studios were trying to cover their tracks. Dolph Lundgren, cast as King Nereus, even said earlier versions had more Mera, but they reshot and sidelined her. This wasn't about her performance, it was a full-on reputation collapse. Heard had the red hair and royal vibe, sure, but fans saw her as PR weight, not character weight. She didn't just miss the mark, she blew past it. Jason Momoa. After all the backlash surrounding Amber Heard, it's wild that the same movie featured one of DC's most beloved actors standing right beside her, Jason Momoa. When Aquaman first appeared in Batman vs. Superman and Justice League, no one expected him to flip the character's reputation. Momoa brought a rugged swagger, a surfer's laid-back energy, and an authenticity that reshaped Atlantis. Even he was stunned. In a Men's Health interview, he admitted he was baffled by Aquaman's success, a billion-dollar hit from a character once mocked. Fans didn't just show up, they rode the wave Momoa created. He didn't just look the part, he felt it. With charm, humor, and sincerity, Momoa captured both Aquaman's strength and heart. The film grossed over $1.1 billion, making it the highest-grossing DCU film ever. That wasn't luck, it was Momoa's energy, his voice, and his connection with audiences. Off-screen, Momoa is just as grounded rescuing animals, filming wildlife docs, and spending time with his kids. Now, as the DCU evolves, he's stepping into Lobo, one of DC's most over-the-top anti-heroes. He even campaigned for the role, texting James Gunn himself, Gal Gadot. Jason Momoa may have kept his fanbase intact through the DC collapse, but Gal Gadot wasn't so lucky. She won the world's admiration as Wonder Woman in 2017, but by Wonder Woman 1984, fans weren't cheering, they were complaining. Reviews called her performance wooden, with weak emotional beats. Despite the film's promise, critics slammed it for being smug and tone-deaf. Gadot's acting couldn't lift the clunky script, and fans began to question if she was the real issue. Then came the imagined sing-along during the pandemic meant to inspire, but it came off as pretentious and out of touch. Headlines called it cringy virtue signaling, and she later admitted it was poorly timed. Her outspoken support for Israel sparked more backlash in 2021, and her casting in Snow White led to online boycotts and security threats. Suddenly, her activism overshadowed her acting. Reviews painted her as too polished, too shallow, too disconnected from the character. One critic even said she lacked the emotional weight a superhero needs. Warner Brothers canceled her solo trilogy, and James Gunn moved on. Her exit felt like a long overdue curtain call. Gadot fizzled out as Wonder Woman, but John Cena, he did the impossible, took a D-list character no one cared about, and made him one of the most beloved in the franchise. When James Gunn cast John Cena as Peacemaker, most people rolled their eyes. A helmet-wearing mercenary who kills for peace? The idea sounded like a joke, but Cena played it straight and it worked. His Peacemaker wasn't just funny, he was tragic, complex, and broken, surprising everyone. Then came the Peacemaker series on HBO Max, and Cena shut everyone up. The show wasn't just good, it was great, earning a 93% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. It broke records, exploded online, and gave DC a much-needed win. Cena carried the series with emotion, humor, and just enough chaos to make you care. Off-screen, he's known for his kindness and respect. When a fan tried filming him without permission, Cena calmly asked them to stop. "What are you wearing? I'm a big fan of consent, right?" That clip went viral not for drama, but for how respectful it was. While the old DCU was collapsing, Cena was already locked into the future. James Gunn confirmed Peacemaker Season 2 will be canon in the new DC universe, and fans were hyped. Peacemaker isn't just another role, it's Cena's. He built it, earned it, and now he's carrying it forward. No scandals, no drama, just pure effort. Cena showed up, did the work, and delivered. Whether you're a comic fan or new to DC, you can respect what Cena brought to the table. His Peacemaker isn't flawless. He's real. Which DC actor do you think deserves more love or hate? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the DC universe.